Hello, everybody. Welcome to My Chamber TV. And you know what? This is the Greater Hernando Chamber of Commerce edition. And you know what? We're going to start right out of the gate and we're going to make you hungry. If you're watching this and you don't get hungry, there's something wrong with you. I've got Kat Scott, and you are from Smokin Oak Wood-Fired Pizza and Tap Room.
Yes.
You are talking my favorite food in the whole... You could take everything away from me, and as long as I have pizza, I'm good.
I think a lot of people feel that way.
Oh, it's a food group, and it's every meal too. You can breakfast, you can have it for lunch, and you can have it for dinner.
Absolutely.
And snack, and I don't know. I've never done cold pizza, but I love pizza. I'm just saying.
Our pizza's good cold.
Oh,
I
there
can
you
promise
go.
You that.
So let's talk about Smokin Oak.
Yeah.
I mean, this is. I'm interested because you kind of fairly new to the Hernando County area.
We are. Rod and I moved here about 2.5 years ago. It took us a minute to try and find a good location. I think we're in the heart of the restaurant community.
You are.
On 50 and Mariner.
Right.
You know, we sit next to Bell's, next to Greek City. Mm-hmm. Good foot traffic, lots of other businesses around. So we're super happy to be there.
So I'm going to ask, why pizza?
Rod actually is the brain.
He's standing right over there, by the way.
Right.
Just he wouldn't, so we get to do one-on-ones here, and he goes, oh, he literally threw you under the bus.
He did. He's
right into the pizza oven.
He's the brain behind the business. He worked in a pizza restaurant, back in college days, and like you, is 100% about pizza. Like take any other food. Right, off of the face of the earth, but you can't take pizza. Mm-mm. And so we came across a franchise that is nowhere near any of the restaurants around here.
Nice.
We've got a self-serve tap wall, 100% wood-fired pizza.
Whoa. Did I hear you say a self-serve tap wall?
Yes.
Oh, my God, I would never leave. I've got pizza, and I can get my own drink. That is phenomenal.
Yeah. So we have RFID bracelets that you get. You open a tab, and you use your bracelet at the wall. It charges by the ounce. So you go up there and try everything on the wall. And
a little bit of this, a little bit of that,
exactly.
A little bit of this. So let's talk about so my first question, I think, is when you guys sat down, is what type of pizza oven?
So it's Neapolitan style. It's I guess you would say brick on the inside, but it's 100% wood fired. So we don't have gas self assist in there. 100% oak, which adds to the flavor of the pizza. We do have a cauliflower crust for people that are gluten free or keto friendly, I should say.
Yeah.
But we cook our meats fresh in the wood-fired oven every single morning before we open.
Wow.
We make dough fresh every single day. We try to let it cold ferment for 3 to 5 days in the refrigerator. It makes it very airy and digestible.
Yes.
All of our vegetables are cut fresh every single day. Our prep person's, there first thing in the morning, 8 a.m., firing up the oven, cooking the meat, and cutting the vegetables. We don't have a freezer in our restaurant. Everything is so fresh. It just is in the refrigerator.
Okay. What about sauce?
Our sauce is amazing.
Is it? Please don't say it's canned. It's not canned, is it?
It's tomatoes.
Yes.
That we blend.
You do the big thing?
No. We put it in almost like a food processor. We just kind of blend it down a little bit and add a little bit of salt. So it's just straight tomatoes and a little bit of salt. And it's incredible.
Phenomenal.
It's incredible.
Oh my! I'm sitting here salivating, and I'm like, so I know where I'm going for lunch.
So I'm not
today
kidding that the dough is incredible, but you add that sauce to it, and I could just eat dough and sauce.
Dough and sauce,
and it's amazing.
That is now. Do you being wood fired? People don't understand that there's a process to this. It's a push, it's a turn. You rotate the whole time yards, but you've also got to maintain that oven because the more pizzas go in there, the cooler it gets.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In the beginning, when you fire up the oven, you've got it in the center of the oven to heat up the entire oven, the roof of the oven, but you have to move that fire off to the side at a particular time of the day. Otherwise, the center floor of the oven is so hot that it'll immediately burn a pizza as soon as you put it in. So tempering the oven and making sure that the floor stays at a proper temperature, the dome stays at the proper temperature, requires us feeding that fire periodically throughout the day, keeping that flame where it needs to be, and then also tempering it if the floor gets too hot.
And that is a precise thing. It's not something you can go, oh, I think it's time. You know that it's time to move.
Absolutely.
Right. That is. I bet you've got the big wood stack in the back, don't you?
We do. We have a shed in the back, and we're constantly stocking it full of wood. Yep. We've got oven operators who work the pizzas in the oven. They rotate it around, so we don't have a self-rotating oven.
Right.
Our employees maintain that pizza in the oven to make sure that it's leopard all the way around like it needs to be.
You got that little bit of char on the bottom. So nice, right?
We char it up if you want it charred up, but we try not to char it too bad.
Well,
that little bit of leoparding.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. So now let's talk about because we're running out. We've already seen we're on it. Well, we're flying through this. So you had Pie Day.
We did.
Let's talk about that real quick.
Okay, so Pie Day was March 14th. It's I guess it's standard across the nation that everybody recognizes Pie Day. So we did a fundraiser for Canine Partners for Patriots.
Nice.
And we sold our pizzas for $3.14 and requested a donation be made on their behalf. And once the event was over with, we did 862 pizzas, and we were able to raise $1,300 for the Canine Partners for Patriots.
Super awesome.
Yep.
So let's tell everybody where you're at again.
We are on Cortez or Highway 50 in Mariner, in the shopping plaza there, next door to Bell's and Greek City Cafe.
Gotcha.
We sit right behind McDonald's in that parking lot.
Awesome. Okay, so look, I know there's pizzas out there that don't agree with me, and pizza's not everything, but so you do have other items on your menu, correct?
We do. We have 3 types of salads: chopped blue cheese, a house salad, and Caesar salad.
Yep. I hear the little voices.
All right. We also have wood-fired dessert. We have a wood-fired apple pie.
No.
Cinnamon glazed nuts, and we're now offering s'mores.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
that
is
everything is cooked in the oven. We have no other means of cooking, so everything is cooked in that wood-fired oven.
So you're strictly pizza then?
Correct.
No pastas, no.
Nope. Strictly pizza. Yep.
I got to tell you about there is a spaghetti pizza that is absolutely phenomenal.
What?
I'm just telling you.
Okay.
But so what's your hours?
We're open every single day
Okay.
from 11 to 9.
Ooh, good hours.
Yep.
Right now, okay. Do you deliver?
We do third-party delivery through
Okay.
Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash.
Okay. So if I can't get there, at least I can order it to get it brought to
Absolutely.
me.
You can go straight to our website, place an order. We also have curbside pickup. So you can just request curbside pickup, and we'll
that's
run it out the
better.
door to you
That is so
if you don't want to
cool.
get out and come in.
So anything going on special that I haven't touched on yet?
So we're doing Kids Eat Free through the remaining month of August.
Okay.
That's our summertime special. So with any adult pizza purchase, you get 1 free kids pizza.
And you don't qualify. I'm just saying my kid over there on the other side.
We're doing lunch specials every day
Okay.
from 11 to 2. That's any pizza and fountain drink for $9.95. We're also running a tap wall special, happy hour from 2 to 5 every day, 25% off of the tap wall.
What?
And our margarita pizzas during that time are $8.
So everybody at home, and I'm going to tell you how to judge a pizza place. If you go in and you have a cheese pizza, if they cannot make that cheese pizza, they can't make pizza.
Absolutely. It's funny that you said that because
that's my test.
Yep.
I go no matter where I go. The first pizza I have is a cheese pie.
Absolutely. I did the same thing recently to a local restaurant.
And we call them pies.
Yep.
Or I worked with a group that called them za.
Yeah.
I'm going to have some za. I'm like, okay, I get you.
Right.
Right? I'm telling you, I tell you, I love pizza. I love pizza. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. Everybody stick around. We got great guests coming up. They did a great job getting them in here. And if you're, after the show's over, you need to go get some pizza. We'll be right back after these messages. Hey everybody, welcome back. And you know what? We get to talk trucks. Well, I mean, not just trucks and cars and but we get to talk trucks, right? This is awesome. I've got Jimmy Sternberger back from, he was on once before from Southern 4x4. Correct. A couple things have changed in your life, right? It's kind of cool. Let's talk about what actually Southern 4x4 and Auto actually does.
Well, we do a number of things. We do the lifting of the trucks, which the name implicates. Southern 4x4. We lift trucks. We do tires, brakes, accessories on vehicles, but we also do auto repair.
Right.
And I have guys at my shop that are focused on auto repair, and I have guys that focus on the 4x4. We do a lot of auto repair. My guys are very good at it. We also do equipment trailer repairs.
Really?
Yeah. So we just got done with a dump trailer this morning, replacing all the brakes on it. We check it, make sure they're safe for the highway. Check the tires that way in case, you get a DOT pullover, you got good tires, brakes, your connections are all good. So
I learned something the other day. Tires actually have an expiration date.
They do. As they get older, they do have an expiration date, and and a lot of times when you buy these tires offline that are cheaper, that's because they're close to the expiration date. And,
Really?
And what happens is when, as that rubber gets older, it gets in the sun and all that, you'll start seeing dry rot of the tires come out a little premature, but it's not really premature. It's just been sitting on a shelf.
Because that can actually get a claim denied if the tires are out of
It could.
past a certain amount of years or something like that.
It could, but most of the time they're going to look at the tread depth and when you bought the tires. So if you had an invoice, I mean, most people are going to realize that you're not looking at the expiration date. It should be the responsibility of the person selling the tires.
Now, do you do other big vehicles like RVs and stuff like that?
So we don't do a whole lot of RVs, just mainly because I don't have the room in my lot for a bunch of them. And there are. My goal is for any of my customers, I want you to get the best service possible.
Right.
So if there are other people out there that give you better quality service for the RVs, I'm going to recommend those people. Right. So I want you to get the best service if it's with me or not.
Okay.
So
awesome. Now tell everybody where you're located at real quick.
I am on State Road 50 right next to Enterprise Car Rental. 15527 Cortez Boulevard is my address. And we've been there, actually this month is 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it's been, it was slow at maybe the first 2 months, and then it has taken off, and it's done really well. And a lot of it, there's, besides the chamber, I do very little advertising. It's all word of mouth.
When you find a good mechanic, you find that guy, you will tell everybody about that guy because it's hard to find a good mechanic. It really is.
It is. And some of my technicians have been in the field for a long time, and they have customers that come in, they're like, Jimmy, we know you own the shop, but we want John to work on this.
Right.
And you know what? And that's okay because they've been following John or Sean or Jordan, Colt, and they've been following those guys around. So, and I have really, really good technicians, and they all help each other. Really, it's a family atmosphere with my guys.
Right.
So, we're happy. I mean, it's work. We're not happy to be there, but if we're going to have to be at a place of employment, I think they're pretty happy with it.
Right. And yes, I'll say that. And I tell you, there's nothing worse than going into a place and looking around and you look at everybody and they're just miserable. Miserable.
And I've worked in corporate America, and when I decided to leave and open my own shop, I promised myself that I would never put my guys in a corporate America situation where the numbers meant more than they did. Right. So my guys mean more to me. And honestly, Southern 4x4, my guys have made Southern 4x4. I'm just happen to be the face.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm the best face for it, but
I know how you feel.
But we have them guys are Southern 4x4, and I take care of them. And the numbers don't mean more to me than them guys.
That's good to hear.
Yeah,
that is really, really good to hear. So you literally you can take care of any vehicle situation.
Pretty much. And if we can't, I have a resource for you. I will find a resource. I will find somebody that specializes in that, and we'll go from there. I'll if it's vehicle related, we can take care of it.
Right.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. Now you retired from something else.
I retired
recently?
from the sheriff's office. Started with Brooksville PD. Then I was working for the sheriff's office, working nights for them, and basically I retired. I wanted to focus more on business, and it's gotten so busy at the shop. It's hard to focus on too many things.
Right.
So I retired. A lot of my deputy buddies come in. and we just give them the best service. FHP comes in all the time, and
Right.
being law enforcement, I take care of them.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm blue line through and through.
Attaboy. Good
Yeah.
job.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. So, what are your hours?
Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
Closed Saturday and Sunday.
Closed Saturday,
Good for
Saturday.
you.
Back to the employees.
Yep.
My guys deserve weekends. They deserve time off. So I've thought about it. I drive around on the weekends and I look at some of these shops open and I look and I'm like, man, they're making a killing right now. But I have to have, you know, my guys have to have a life also.
Yeah.
So I decided it's Monday through Friday. And that's what it's going to stay for a good while.
That's admirable. I'm just saying that's admirable.
Yeah.
So if I want to spruce up my vehicle, right? And it doesn't have to be a 4x4 to go up a little bit, right? Correct?
No, it can be a two-wheel drive. We can make two-wheel drives look more truckish, look more, you know, give it a good just stance and all
Right.
that. It can be a two-wheel drive truck, you know, leveling kits. Sometimes on some of the pickup trucks, just taking off those tires that came with it from the dealership, those old street tires,
Yep.
and putting some hybrids on there that are going to run really good down the highway, will change the appearance of a truck. So, and our goal is not to upsell you to whatever we want you to.
Right.
We want to give you what you like, and there's many times customers come in and, hey, we want this, and just talking and getting to know the customer, we really realize what they really want, and it may be a lot less than what they're actually asking for, and then we kind of bring some ideals up. We build trucks all the time, so you roll a truck in, we're going to look at it,
Right.
and we can basically build it in our head what's going to look the best on that vehicle.
Nice. Now, but you do full custom.
Oh, absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
mean, you can just you can go, okay, this is stock, make it look monstrous.
We can make it look like a magazine.
That is
that
absolutely-
magazine cover where you look at and you're like, hey, that looks like a good vehicle. Southern 4x4s put a lot of those together.
That is absolutely phenomenal. So, how busy are you right now?
Right now we're about 2 weeks out. So usually what happens is somebody wants a build or even an auto repair they call. The builds on a truck, if you came to the shop, let us look at it. Make sure, you know, we're talking apples to apples. That's the best way to do it. That way, and then we'll order the parts, and when the parts come in, we would schedule you to come in. Auto repair, you just make a phone call, and we'll put you on the schedule. Right now, we're running about 2 weeks behind, maybe a week and a half, 2
Right.
weeks. So unless it's not drivable.
Right. An emergency.
I get them all the time where they're emergency, the vehicles won't even run.
Jimmy won't start.
Yeah.
Get it here.
And just tow it in, and
Get
we'll
it here.
get to it as soon as possible, because there are some periods of time that we're waiting on parts, or I can break a guy off one. If I know I have a vehicle there, it's going to be a few days, and I can break them off of that and get that breadwinner back on the road for you.
Awesome. Jimmy, thanks for stopping in, man. We appreciate it
Hey,
being on My Chamber TV. Look, if you're looking for a good mechanic, the man takes care of his employees. That's one of the best things. That's one of the best companies you can ever go to. So, all right, stick around. We got more great guests coming right up. We'll be right back after these messages. Hey, everybody, we're back. And you know what? I've got Brett Maggard from the Maggard Wealth Management Company. So let's talk about wealth management. Actually, tell everybody home who you are, what you do.
Yeah, of course. My name is Brett Michael Maggard. I'm the founder of Maggard Wealth Management. And what we specialize in do is we help people understand their risk tolerance, and more importantly, we just help them accomplish their financial goals and protect their assets from the unexpected.
Got it. Now, are you, I know this is a word everybody throws around, are you a fiduciary?
That's correct, yes, sir.
Okay.
I am a
And what
fiduciary.
is a fiduciary?
A fiduciary just means that we're obligated to always do what's in the client's best interest. There's a difference between a suitable investment and something that is in your best interest.
Okay. So you help manage that risk side, right?
Correct, yes, sir.
And today, okay, so is today, in this climate, is it a good time to start going, I've really got to find some good investments?
Of course, right? There's never a bad time to get into investing, as well as make sure that you're set up properly to accomplish what you want, and make
Right.
sure that you're not taking on too much risk that you don't need.
Right. I guess is risk a tolerance thing? I mean, is it something that, it's your comfort level?
Yeah, so there's two types of risks that you should be aware of.
Okay.
Your willingness to take risk, as well as your tolerance to take risk.
Oh. And now, are you finding right now everybody's a little more not willing?
Yeah, right. There's a lot going on in the economy and the market.
Right.
And the worst thing that people can do is try to time the market, right? Because the worst thing you can do is try to buy and sell when emotions get high. You need to stick to your financial plan because there's always going to be ups and downs. That's why it's important to figure out your risk tolerance before you get into the investing.
Okay. So you got those people that are like close to the chest, and I'm like, we're just going to hold on there for a while. And then you got those other people go, no, I'm okay. Let's roll with the dice. Let's see where this is going to go.
Yeah, exactly. Or, right, they have their 401k that they've had for 20, 30, 40 years, right? And they leave it alone and don't touch it. But then as they get closer to retirement, if they start seeing a big drops, they get scared, pull out, go back in. And that's really what affects their overall returns by going in and out of the market like that.
Okay, so because flat truth, I mean, the last couple of years, 401ks have been kind of hit hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of fluctuations.
And do you think, so if someone's sticking it out in those 401ks, I know we're not promising, we're not guaranteeing, but just a good question to ask, I do think is it still good to stick it out? Is it going to rebound? Is it going to get better?
Yeah, well, what you need is a strategic financial plan.
Right.
And that includes 5 major areas.
Okay.
Right? So it's your investment planning, your tax planning, your income planning, healthcare planning, and estate planning. You need to have an overall view of what's exactly going on to make sure that you're protected.
Right. Okay. So, and that's what you do. You go in and you assess, like, okay, this is what I think would work for you on an individual basis, of course.
Yeah, right. So in those, what I've noticed is the average financial advisor only provides one service, and that's giving investment advice.
Right.
Usually a cookie cutter portfolio of stocks and bonds. We do things differently at Maggard Wealth Management. Okay. We have the resources to help our clients with all 5 major areas of financial planning. That way they know that they're going to be protected and accomplish their goals. And personally, we can't do that all on our own.
Right.
We need the resources and partnerships. So that's why I don't only represent Maggard Wealth Management, but also Singer Wealth Advisors and their investment committee, our custodians, Charles Schwab, and we have partnerships with Singer Wealth PA for estate planning needs, as well as SK Financial, a CPA firm attached to one of our offices for accounting and tax services as well. So having all these resources really gives us the expertise to help our clients bring them the most value as possible.
Man, what a great way to answer my next question. I was like, what makes you different? And boy, you just did. So someone coming into you, you get a bigger picture than just one lane.
Exactly. Yes.
Right.
We take a holistic approach, right? And look at everything. And what people love about working with us is it's no additional cost for all 5 services.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just one. So, okay, let's ask you this question because there's a lot of people that will ask this question. Okay, I'm in my late 40s, early 50s. I'm not, but but is it too late?
It's never too late.
Okay.
Right? And that's where, no matter where you're at in your life, you want to start planning now and preparing yourself because you never know what might happen with Social Security or the economy or market. So the more you can protect yourself now and build that nest egg to live comfortably, the less chances you take of running out of money or having to go back to work. Okay.
Now, say you've got me as a client, and I'm seeing all this crazy stuff on the internet, right? And which is a lot of it. And they're like, I think there's something now that's the big, huge rage is called as an IUL or something like an insurance, your own thing. Become your own banker. Do you tell people? Or do you walk them through, like, if that's a fad, don't get into that, or hey, that might be something to, do you go research those, or do you already know about them and go,
Yeah, of course, right? In my opinion, there's no such thing as good or bad investment. It depends if it fits what you're trying to accomplish, right? An IUL is an index universal life policy. That might work for some people. It might not be a good recommendation to others. It all just depends on where you're at. And that's why we sit down, have a good conversation, just see where you're at with things. And then we'll look and make sure that there's no gaps in your plan so you can accomplish what you want and be financially secure.
That's phenomenal. Now, are you strictly here in the Hernando area?
No, so I was born and raised right here in Brooksville, Florida.
Okay.
right? And so we have office right here in the Chamber of Commerce, and we also have an office in Wesley Chapel.
Okay.
And we service everybody in the greater Tampa Bay area and most of Florida as well. So can we help in other states? Yes, but we tend to stick mainly to individuals here in the state of Florida.
Does it vary from state to state how things work, or is that more of a federal side?
When it comes to tax planning, yes.
Okay.
Right? And tax planning, in my opinion, is the most unutilized service that financial advisors can provide. We have helped multiple clients save millions of dollars in their taxes by implementing tax strategies that most people just aren't aware of.
Really?
Yes.
See, now, I would have never thought about the tax side. But
yeah, most people don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what kind of clients are you looking for right now?
Yeah, so the majority of our clients are 50 years old or older, but we can help people younger than that with their accumulation. But really what we focus on is helping people get ready for their retirement and make sure that they are financially secure, not going to outlive their income, and that they have a true financial plan to accomplish what they want and not be stressed out in their retirement.
What's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
Best way to people get hold of me is usually just going on our website, maggardwealth.com.
Okay.
And from there, you can see exactly the phone numbers, emails, or schedule an appointment right there online.
Oh, I can do it online, so I can just say, hey, pick a time.
Yep, exactly.
That is absolutely phenomenal. I know we're not really supposed to, you can't promise things like that, but what's a good, solid piece of advice for everybody watching today?
Yeah, so the best piece of advice I can give you is making sure that you have a good understanding of the 5 areas of financial planning and make sure that you don't have any gaps in those areas. Because if you just have one gap in any of those 5 areas, it could potentially make you run out of money, and nobody wants that. We all want an end goal of being financially secure and being stress-free.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy on the corner going, I didn't plan well. I need
Yeah,
money.
yeah, and what I've noticed is a lot of people have a lot more risk than they're aware of. So many times I hear people say that they're conservative. They come in, we look over their statements together, and it's as aggressive as somebody that's 30 years old.
Whoa.
Yeah, and because we never know what might happen in the stock market.
No.
There's been multiple decades of negative returns.
Right.
Right? So that's okay when you're younger to ride out the fluctuations, right? But as you get closer to needing to turn those assets into income, you got to make sure that if we have a bad decade, that you're going to be financially okay to live the life that you want.
That is a good piece. That is the best piece of advice I have heard yet. So thank you for coming on, Brett. We appreciate it. Hey, everybody at home, go get some coffee, tea, or whatever. We don't judge here. And you know what? We'll be right back after these short messages. See you shortly. Hey everybody, welcome back. You know what? Now we're going to talk a little theater, a little dance, a little fun, right? Mm-hmm. So I got Vanni, correct?
Right.
And you are with the Live Oak Theater, but it's not just the Live Oak Theater. It's the Live Oak Theater and Conservatory.
Correct.
So let's talk about, I'm just going to sit back and let you talk about Live Oak.
Okay. Well, first of all, Live Oak Theater is a family-friendly theater. In other words, a lot of times people will say, well, is it appropriate for me to take my child or my grandchild to this particular production? You never have to ask. We only do family-friendly theater. So if you look at our venue for this year, we start with Fiddler on the Roof, which is what this is all about,
going on there.
right? And then then we have another group called our Youth Theater Program, where yesterday we enrolled over 70 students and 70 kids auditioned for parts to 2 different shows. One is Mary Poppins Jr., and the other is The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. Again, this is the kind of thing that children predominantly, learn. We also, in the spring, we're going to be doing perhaps one of the most difficult shows that local theaters ever do, which is Seven Brides for Seven Brothers.
I just got to say, I'm going to stop you. That, you have to have really great cast.
And we do. Remember, we've been doing this for 14 years. We have some of our kids are no longer kids. They're now married with children.
Oh,
okay?
That's
and
awesome.
so we've been able to grow. people say that, where do you find this talent?
Yeah.
Okay, and Randy, who is our founder and president, she will always say, we grow them. Because on top of that, oh, by the way, we conclude the year with The Little Mermaid.
Oh, that's
okay,
awesome.
done by our youth theater again. But also the reason why we're able to do it is we have the Live Oak Conservatory, where there are about 150 kids that learn all of the performing arts. We have 4 classes in acting. We have 4 classes in improv. We have half a dozen classes in ballet, 4 or 5 classes in tap on various different levels. We have primary acting. We have primary dancing, which means 5-year-olds. So we start kids very, very early, and they're trained well. So that's why we were able to do shows like Newsies,
Right.
which we did
Which
2
was
seasons.
ballsy. I'm gonna have to say, because
Exactly.
that's another one that is you really got to have talent.
Yeah, and again, those kids actually, we have so many tap classes, but on top of that, there was a special tap class done by the director choreographer, Zandy Garner, and she taught that class once or twice a week. Okay, had anybody who wanted to audition for that program had to take her class, and I've known her since she was 12. I directed her.
Okay.
I've been doing this for a
bit,
while.
just a couple of days, yeah.
But anyway, when I knew her, she was one of the best kid dancers in the Tampa Bay area. She was a
Right.
buck dancer. She was a clogger, tapper, you name it, she could do it. And she taught these kids how to tap specifically for Newsies.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So these are the kinds of teachers that we do have. Most of them are veterans. They've done this before. And we're just really excited about the year that we've got because we're just starting, okay? And we have plenty and plenty openings left for our conservatory. Right now, our season tickets are being sold for all 5 shows, and they're only $90 for all 5 shows. And these are all
What?
musicals.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, one of the advantages we also have been able to have is we get a lot of community support. If you look at some of our advertising, it will say this show done in collaboration with this particular business. And in fact, if you've got any businesses are out there that are interested, we always look for sponsors. And we have the literature. They just need to contact us, and I'll follow up on that. I don't want to spend too much time,
Right.
overselling that. I'm just really excited about our season this year because what we do is being family friendly. If you're going to see Fiddler on the Roof, you're going to that audience also enjoys Mary Poppins.
Yes.
Okay, they enjoy Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, The Little Mermaid. Our Christmas show we have a very, very short window span for the Christmas show. It's only December the 8th, 9th, and 10th. That's it. But it's the best Christmas pageant ever. It's a traditional type of Christmas show, and every Christmas we do something traditional.
Yes.
Okay, one of the big ones we used to do is It's a Wonderful Life.
Right.
We used to do the radio show.
Yep.
And we would add in, because we're a conservatory, we would add into the radio show all the commercials
Yes.
sung,
Yes.
That's
awesome.
it would come across like a 1940s, 1950s radio hour.
Gotcha.
Or radio couple of hours, actually. So that's basically a little bit about us. If there's, can I talk about some of the classes we teach?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
because I'm
you
looking
just
at the
keep
list.
going.
I keep going. Okay.
You're doing good.
Tap, jazz, ballet, music theory. Our music theory class is really filled. That's and again, it's taught by a degreed professional.
Okay.
Improv, yeah. Our youth art program. We do acro as well.
Really?
Yeah.
You
name it.
Do you teach a stage tech class?
Yes.
That's important.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. We just did it last week.
Yeah.
We are really interested in bringing in people who are interested in tech. So please, if you've got young people who are out there and old people, if you just don't want to be on stage, but you really like the backstage
Yes.
stuff, please contact us, because one of the things that we do, we have our shows, we do about 10 to 12 performances. That's really rough on a young cast. We double cast everything.
Oh, smart.
So, like, for example, Fiddle on the Roof, we have 2 Tevias, 2 Goldas, you know, the wife, 2 Yentas. We've got that kind of talent.
Yeah.
So we have only one rabbi. That's going to be me.
No,
but that's another story. But the point is, what we are looking for now is enough technicians so that we can double team the technicians, so that when you have 10 shows, if somebody says, gee, I got plans to go on a date that night, or I've got the prom, yeah, you can take off.
Or I'm not feeling well.
Oh, that's a biggie.
Oh.
That's been the most beautiful thing that's happened with our ability to double cast is the fact that we've never had to cancel a show because we've got 2 of everything.
Yep.
And
Smart.
The reason why we're able to do it is we have multiple directors, we have multiple leaders.
Yep.
In other words, like I'm the drama director. If a Fiddler on the Roof, I handle all the characterizations so that if there's a particular scene where there's no music, okay, I'll pull all those guys aside while Randy is working on music with another group of people.
Right.
Okay, so these are the benefits that we have, and so far we sell out, and that's the one thing that we're letting people know. Our season tickets are available. You'll see our website, on the screen. You'll see our phone numbers on the screen. If you don't like going online,
just give us a call. Give you guys a call.
Just give us a
get
call.
It online.
And if you have children who are interested, now that's the last thing I'd like to point out.
You got 10 seconds.
Okay. We're not training the next generation of New York City cab drivers and waiters.
There you go.
Imagine your favorite leader.
Yep.
What is that leader doing? That leader is usually up in front of a large group of people, okay, and with full confidence. They are creative. They think out of the box, and that's what we teach.
There you go. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Look, if you're looking at season tickets and you want to go see something good, give them a call. Go to the website. We'll be right back after these short messages. Hey, welcome back, everybody. You know what? We're going to talk a little bit of government because everybody just loves the government. I got Miss Beth. Now, I would say her name, but I will read it, and I know I will because it's just the way I am. So, Beth, introduce yourself to everybody at home.
Okay. Hi, my name is Beth Narverud. I am your county commissioner in District 1. The county commissioners here do serve countywide, so I know I get a lot of phone calls and people will say, I'm not sure who my commissioner is, and my standard answer typically is, it really doesn't matter. We all can help you, and we are all glad to help you at any time. So when you call and ask for help, every single one of us should say, we're all here to help, and that's what I try to do.
How many districts does actually Hernando have?
We have 5 districts.
5 districts.
Yes, and they just like us to be throughout the county so that nobody's just trying to help one particular area, and we're readily accessible in the community that we live in so that you can run into us in your day-to-day life because we live there, so we're there. So if I'm at the grocery store, people can see me and be like, hey, there's my county commissioner. Hey, I have a problem. Or, hey, I just wanted to say hi and thank you for looking after this or that.
Now, District 1 is Brooksville?
Smack in the center of Spring Hill.
Oh, really?
Yes.
In the middle of Spring Hill?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. So it's kind of a weird thing. So if you go from, the east side of 19, all the way over to the west side of Linden.
Oh, okay.
Straight down to the north side of Spring Hill Drive.
Gotcha.
Kind of in that area.
Yeah, that is smack dab in the middle.
Right,
wow.
but then on the east side of Deltona, once you go below Northcliffe.
Okay. So, I've always, I ask this from every person I ever talked to that's in the government, what made you want to be a commissioner?
Gosh, I think it's just I've been here a really long time. I mean, I moved down here in 1987, and I started visiting this county in 1970.
Oh, wow.
So I've been coming down here when, Spring Hill ended at Deltona Boulevard, and my uncle opened a restaurant in Brooksville. So Brooksville was really the county.
Yeah.
So Luigi's Pizza, and they celebrated, 50 years in the
Oh,
county
wow.
during the pandemic. So I've been coming down here for years and years, and I've watched the place grow. My husband and I owned Domino's Pizza in the county for over 30 years. My dad and I owned a New York deli on Cass Circle when that was the hub of Spring Hill.
Right.
My husband and I got married, and we raised our kids here. They went through the school system. I got active I went on the school board. I got very active in the school system and was a school board member. And they graduated through our school system. And, I just thought I could do more for our county. And I thought I knew a lot about the county. I knew a lot about the different communities. And I just felt like I could have a good impact. I mean, I watched the counties below us grow. And we have so many great things here in this county and so many assets, and I just thought we could make it better if we were smart about how we grow.
Right.
And I wanted this place to have opportunity. I'm watching my kids go off to college, but I want them to be able to come back here.
Right.
I mean, I know they're going to spread their wings and check out other places, but I don't want them to go away forever.
Right.
I want them to have opportunity and career options here, to come back here. I want them to raise their families here because it is such a wonderful place. I think it's really important that we protect what we have and make sure it is a good place to raise families and to be able to live a decent life and earn a decent wage.
So, great answer, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
I'd vote for you. I'm just saying. So, right now, is there one big problem that the business owners are kind of facing in the county?
Oh,
I know there's a lot. But
I think the cost of goods. I mean, when you look at rising costs, it's hard, and then you've got that threshold when you're looking at things. You depending upon what products you're selling, there's a threshold where people say, I'm not going to pay that much for a pizza, or I'm not going to pay that much for a house, or you reach a point where you say, where's the saturation point, and how much can I afford? I mean, I know I go to the grocery store now and I walk out with 2 bags and it's like $80.
Right.
And I think I didn't even buy meat today.
Yeah.
Where do you say that's enough? And how do you say that's enough when you have no other choices?
Right.
So I think that everybody's just, in that adjustment period, and then people say, oh, don't worry, it'll get better. And then I think, how's that going to happen? When prices go up, I have rarely seen them go down to what they once were. They may go down, but they're never going to go back to what they were. And that's the hard part. And people are like, stop raising taxes. The values of a home are going up. You're inherently getting more money. And I understand that, and I agree. And we're not raising millage. We fought to keep that lower. But the cost of everything is going up, and we're really trying to do our best to keep it down. And everybody's like, we're on a fixed income, and I argue sometimes everybody is. I mean, we really can't give ourselves raises.
Correct.
The discretionary income on the bottom line is dwindling for everybody. And I hate what our seniors are going through, and they can't even get part-time jobs because then they lose everything that they've got.
Right.
It's just a horrible situation to be in, and believe me, we're all perplexed, and we're trying to figure out how we can do this better and what can we do. I know that we've got impact fee studies that have come through, and I know that's going to be a big discussion coming up, and I think it's important that the public come and be heard on that, because I know that our builders in the area, they don't want it, but I've been looking recently and I see a lot of them are building in other counties as well, and they have raised their impact fees. Betcha. And it's not the local builders. We've got a lot of national builders coming in here, and they're building, and they're going to continue to build, and we're missing a lot of money that could be going into our infrastructure.
Left on the table. Yep.
It's left on the table, and we've got roads that need to be widened, and we need all that. And there's no other way to get it. We're trying, we're doing our best, and I'm not one for raising taxes. I want small government, but small government doesn't mean small little roads where we're sitting in traffic.
Correct.
I think most people have been down to Pasco, and you see what's going on down there. Go down at 5 o'clock onto 54.
It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Everybody was like, why'd they make this road so big? It's still not big enough.
Right.
And you go down, even on Elgin now. I mean, that's the road I travel the most because that's where District 1 is. And you go in the morning, and I'm watching people driving on the wrong side of the road half the time, and it's 35 miles an hour, and they're doing 50, and they're on the wrong side of the road just trying to pass people because they're going too slow.
Yep.
And you get up to that traffic light at Mariner, and they don't want to wait to get to that turn lane, and it needs to be wider. And then you go to Barclay and Spring Hill Drive, and the cost to do those intersections are just outrageous.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, why don't they just put a light there? You know, and then you say, well, go look up the cost of a light. It's absolutely, everything's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like the world's gone mad. I don't
It
know.
has lost its stinking mind.
It has. It has. I mean, I could just go on about costs forever. It's just, I mean, you know, when I became a commissioner, I was like, how much does what cost? Like, that's nuts. You know, so I don't know.
I'm glad, you know, so it makes me feel better that, because sometimes, you know, and I'm just going to be honest, sometimes we sit there and watch these commissioners, and I'm like, you don't live in the real world.
Oh, gosh, yes, we do.
Yeah, but you do. You see everything that we see.
We do. We
and
do.
it affects you. Like this morning, I filled up my tank, $150. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Oh yeah, no, I felt mine was 65. It's probably not my smaller tank, but
yeah,
but it's just, and I use regular. I mean, I don't even put premium in my car.
Right.
It's the regular.
Well, who can afford
the
it
regular
now?
stuff. I'm
Right.
like, that's it.
Exactly.
You know?
Well, thank you for coming on, and your information's been up the whole time, so that way people can get a hold of you. Yeah. I love the fact that you're accessible, because sometimes when you see some of the politicians, and I know that's not what you are, but they're politicians. You get them and they run from you. They're like, no.
Oh no, I do my best to try to answer calls, and you know, and I laugh because you know I do answer my calls, and I do spend a lot of time on the phone with constituents because you know I go right in there with them. I'm pretty empathetic. You know,
that's awesome.
You know, if I can solve the problem, I do my best to try to do that with you. And you know, call me. I mean, I forget to turn my little clicker back on because I'm not an iPhone user, and they make me carry an iPhone, and I turn it off, and I forget to turn the ringer back on.
Yep.
But you know, if you don't hear back from me, email me, and I will respond. I promise you, I will.
Thank you so much for being on. Hey, everybody, stick around. We got more great guests coming right up after this. We'll be right back. Everybody, welcome back. You know what? I've got Miss Diana. Oh, I am not going to try that because I know that I'll mess that up. Introduce everybody at home. Tell them who you are.
I am Diana Gisonni.
Yep. See, I would have. Yep.
That's okay. It happens
I'm
often.
Southern, but Gisonni.
That's okay.
Now, you are guardian ad litem.
Guardian ad litem office, yes.
Office.
Yes.
Because there's a difference between what a guardian ad litem is and what the office is, correct?
Right. Well, we have guardian ad litem volunteers that volunteer with us as the guardian ad litem office.
Office.
So what we do, we are advocates for abused, neglected, and abandoned children who then find themselves in the dependency system. So the Department of Children and Families has gone in, an investigator has gone in and deemed it necessary to remove a child or children from an abusive or neglectful situation. So they get removed from their home. They may be placed in a foster home. They may be placed in a group home. They could be placed with relatives. And the department does try to find a fit and safe relative to place these children with, because obviously that's better for them to be with somebody they know than with a stranger. So in the dependency system, you have attorneys that advocate for the Department of Children and Families. You have attorneys that advocate for the parents. So what we do as a guardian ad litem office is we are advocating for the children and what's in their best interest.
So you're their voice.
Yes, that's exactly it. We are their voice. But we work as a team. So we have a multidisciplinary team. So there are attorneys that work in our offices. There's also what we call child advocacy managers. So these are human services professionals. They work in our office as staff members. They supervise the volunteers. They are their go-to person for assistance as the volunteer works through their case.
Right.
So we have a three-person team to advocate for these children and their best interest in the court system. We want to make sure if they need counseling, they're getting counseling.
Right.
If they need educational support, which a lot of them do, a majority of our cases are substance abuse. So these children have been neglected due to substance abuse. So they are, they've missed school. They've gone from place to place. They're homeless. So a lot of them are behind in school. So they need someone to advocate for some educational services, tutoring. Maybe they need individual education plans such as that. All of our volunteers, or all of our advocates are volunteers. It's a really incredible volunteer opportunity. I've been with the Guardian Ad Litem office for 9 years. I'm also a certified Guardian Ad Litem, so I carry cases just like all other volunteers would. I would say it's one of the most difficult things I've done because of the subject matter we're dealing with.
Yes.
However, it's one of the most rewarding things I've done because we as volunteers advocating for these children, we make such a huge difference in their life. And it's not just for the time that you're on the case. Even when the case is over, long term, what we do for these children now impacts their entire life in a positive way. So it's pretty incredible what we get to do.
How attached do you get?
You get attached, absolutely, because, I mean, I'll talk a little bit about what the volunteer does. So we go see the child every month. We go to where they're placed. We spend some time with them. We visit with them. We talk to their caregivers. We talk to their teachers, counselors, anyone who's involved in the child's life. This is how we're able to make what we call the best interest recommendations for that child. So we gather information. We're information gatherers. How is the child doing? What do they need? Etc. And then we use that information. We make those recommendations. So we get to spend time with the child. A lot of times, because of the background these children have come from, they don't know a life outside of substance abuse or physical abuse and sometimes sexual abuse. There's lots of our kids that have been human trafficked.
Okay.
So these are the different types of abuses these children come from. They have adults in their life, although these parents, they love their children, but, you know, they get in substance abuse. I mean, that grips hold of them, right? So these children haven't had an adult that they can trust that'll follow through, and they get to see that in their Guardian Ad Litem. So we're somewhat of a mentor as well. We get to show them that there are adults that are trustworthy, that will follow through, that will be there for them and care about them. So you absolutely do get attached, yes. You can't help it. I mean, if you come into this kind of work and this kind of volunteer work, you do it because you have a heart for children, that you want to help children. So, of course, you're going to get attached. There are some cases, I've got children where the cases have long since closed, where I'm still in touch with them. They decide they want to stay in touch, so they'll contact me and let me know how they're doing, or we talk on Facebook, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's just a really incredible opportunity.
So the situation they get pulled from, right? Sometimes it's a process, or is it sometimes they go in and they just get pulled quickly?
Generally, yeah. So when a report goes into the Florida Abuse Hotline, an investigator goes out, and if that child is in danger, they will be removed immediately, like right at that moment.
And they wind up leaving with nothing.
Lots of times they leave with a bag of clothes or whatever they can gather up together. Yes.
I've heard the term trash bag kids.
Yes, and
which is horror.
Right, and we have. We have different ways we can help, get clothing for these kids and things. And that's another part of what we do, kind of making sure these kids have what they need. Right. The most important thing is that we just need more volunteers, especially here in Hernando County.
If people watching today sees this and go, okay, I want to get involved.
Right.
How do they get involved? And what can they do, either deep or just to help?
Well, and it's really great because there's different sort of what I call different levels of commitment, if you will, for the amount of time. Right. So essentially, to become a volunteer, you have to be 21 years of age or older. You have to have a clean criminal background and a passion for helping kids. And everything is done on computer, all of our records and stuff. So you have to have sort of a working knowledge of using a computer. All of our applicants, so you do an online application. You get interviewed. So I conduct an interview. We send you for background screening. And then there is a 30-hour training program that you go through. Most of it is online, independent study, and then there's some live webinars. Right. And then you go through what we call our fieldwork phase, where you work with a mentor, one of our experienced volunteers, on your first case. And they do your first visit. Right. You do court watch and things like that. We do go to court for judicial reviews every 3 to 5 months or so. But you get training on all of that. The best thing to do is to go to our website. It's guardianadlitem.org. Or you can call me at 352-812-6971. Right now in Hernando County, we've got close to 300 children in foster care, in dependency. Yeah. And we've got volunteers to represent about 40% of them right now. So we really are in need of volunteers here in Hernando County. But we say about 5 to 10 hours a month on a case. If you work full-time and you still want to do this, you say, well, I can't go to court because I work full-time. You can be what's called a courtesy guardian. And a courtesy guardian, these are children that are from another county but get placed here in Hernando County and need someone to go do that once a month visit. So that's what's involved as a courtesy guardian. Then that's a couple hours a month. So there's sort of some varying degrees.
But what about financial? Because we're running out of time.
There's no financial.
No, do you need financial? Can people give to your?
Oh, absolutely. You can donate. Yep. If you want to donate to help to our foundation to help the children, absolutely.
That's phenomenal. Wow.
Yeah.
And I tell you, kids are that's my hotspot.
Me too.
Man,
Me
oh
too.
man.
Yes.
Kids are. I mean, just like. That's just not cool, and we always want to help. So if there's anything that, that Area 52 Media Group can do to help you, just let me know. And that, so
we appreciate
we're already out of time. It doesn't take very long. It's amazing.
No, I know, right?
So stick around. We got more great guests coming up. Actually, matter of fact, I think I've got the president of the chamber coming up, and I know she's got a lot of cool things that are happening in the chamber. We'll be right back after these messages. All right, everybody, we're back. I told you I saved the best for last. All right, I got Miss Ashley Hofecker from the Greater Hernando County Chamber of Commerce. Boy, that's a long one. So you got some stuff coming up.
Yes, summer was a little bit slow for us through June and July, but August we're picking right back up and getting into the busy season of events, which is what we're here for.
So are you growing?
We are, yes.
That's what I heard.
Yep, it's good. Looking to find events and find people to come out to events that are going to be good matches with our, we want to give back to our members who are the vendors and sponsors. So we want to reach as many as I can't even talk today. We can reach as many people as we can. So we're connecting them with businesses in our community.
I think it's okay. And I've talked to other chambers, because we do the show, and everybody said the same thing. June and July. I'm like, well, June and July should be slow. I'm just saying. Because businesses they're short-staffed because of vacation and stuff like that. So August starts ramping you back up. September, October, November, December, you're full out.
Yes, that's what we're kind of expecting. So we're happy about that. We're looking forward to it. But nice to have a little bit of a slow time to prep for the events that are coming in the fall.
You need time to breathe and get ready. Because you got something coming up in August.
We do.
Is pretty cool.
A couple weeks, I guess 4 weeks, 3 weeks. On August 26th, we're going to have our Health and Wellness Expo, which is an annual event.
Yep.
We're doing that over at Cross Point Church, which is a member of ours. For those that are not familiar with the area, that's located at 2440 Anderson Snow Road in Spring Hill. It's a very large facility, so we're happy about that because it actually allows us to host an all-indoor indoor event, which is great for our vendors and our attendees because no one has to be super hot outside.
It's not hot in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about the event itself. Really, I know it's kind of self-explanatory, but sometimes it's not because there's way more than just health.
Absolutely. And so the event would not be possible without our presenting partner, which is Massage Envy of Spring Hill and Brooksville. So we're super thankful to them for that. And they're going to have a fabulous setup at the event. There's a special room inside the church. I call it the glass room, but that's where Massage Envy is going to have their massage chairs. So people that come are going to have the opportunity to get some massage while they're there.
Can we get back in line multiple times?
I'm sure they probably wouldn't mind if you did. But that's just a nice feature for some people, out on a Saturday in the middle of the day.
Yes.
Popping in there to get that. But we also have some other great vendors who are going to be providing some other free things, heart rate checks, blood pressure readings. Advent Health Dade City is going to be bringing out their lab team to offer free lab screenings, including PSA checks. So that's pretty awesome. And then one of our other members, Gardner Audiology, will be out there doing free hearing tests for folks.
What? What'd you say?
They'll be out there doing that. So, we're hoping that these free things will draw people out. Some of the local nursing students are coming out with their schools to to do some free checks for people as well to get them
Nice.
experience. So I think it's going to be a really awesome event. We have about 25 vendors now and about 15 sponsors. So it's really
Wow.
going to be a great event.
So now, is it an all-day event or the times?
So it'll actually be 10 to 2.
Okay.
And there, since it is kind of in the middle of the day, we do have a couple of food truck vendors that'll be out there to have, you know, if people wanted to buy
Snacks.
something to have a snack. Padula's Pizza will be one of them with their pizza truck. I know you said you love pizza.
Oh, Padula's is so good.
Yes. So
So good.
So they'll be out there. We have a special media sponsor, which is Advocate Health Advisors.
Mm-hmm.
That was made possible through Hits 106. So there's going to be a lot of good things happening.
That is so cool. Now, what's the date?
The date is Saturday, August 26th.
August 26th.
And it is from 10 to 2.
10 to 2. Inside, not outside.
Yes.
That's a big deal.
It is. I think so. I know it's so hot in August here in Florida, and it's just hard for people with the humidity to kind of get around out and about. So we're excited about this all indoor facility, and just, you know, excited to bring our partners and members and community together.
Are you looking for more vendors?
We do have room for more vendors.
Okay.
Yes. And
Okay.
there's information about the vendor fee on our website, which is
Okay.
hernandochamber.com.
Right.
Or folks can always call the office, 796-0697, and we can explain what options are available. One thing I did want to mention, though, it's free to attend.
Okay.
So there's no cost if you're
Really?
a community member looking to just come out and get some information from.
Free testing, free massage, free audio testing. Oh my gosh, that's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, sounds like
And Cross Point is a nice facility.
it is a very nice facility.
Beautiful place.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk about the growth in the chamber real quick.
Sure.
So I know of four businesses that have joined in the last couple of months, and so you guys are just getting bigger and bigger.
We are. We, like I said, June and July were slow, but when we're looking at for our projections, we are going to hopefully get back to 10, 12 new members a month. So we know
Nice.
it's there. People are just taking the summer off.
And so I'm just going to say this because we're going to interview him next month, but you have a new person at the front desk.
We do. We have a new front desk person. His official title is not front desk person. It is member and program support specialist. So
Right.
we're really excited to have him join us. He comes to us with 12 years of experience from Publix in customer service.
Oh, nice.
So I think he's going to be a fabulous fit with our team, and he's really going to be able to take care of the members and the community.
Very good. Ashley, thank you for...
Thank you.
First of all, thank you for being a part of My Chamber TV.
Yeah, we're happy.
We really do appreciate it. We love this chamber. Everybody, if you're in the Hernando County, even if you're in Pasco, you can still join. Be a part of this chamber. This chamber is absolutely phenomenal. Thanks for watching this week. We really appreciate it. Without you guys watching, we wouldn't have an audience and we wouldn't have wonderful chambers being involved. See everybody next week on My Chamber TV.